All right, guys, a nice win for the Utah Jazz on ESPN in front of everyone. They beat the Lakers by over like 20 points. This is the Hoops Nerd postgame show. All right, before we talk about the Jazz, let's talk about the Lakers. LeBron was good. Everyone else was not. All right, let's talk. No, just kidding. I was disappointed knowing that this game was coming up and that Anthony Davis wasn't going to play, Dennis Schroeder wasn't going to play, and I wanted to see the Jazz go against a full-strength Lakers team tonight. It's interesting, even with the Jazz blowing out the Lakers, LeBron still got his points and still looked like LeBron. I mean, you could just tell that the supporting cast around him is not very good. What's interesting is some of these guys played better in the playoffs. I mean, Alex Caruso was a legitimately solid defender in the playoffs. And, Contavious Caldwell-Pope looked like the best shooter, looked like freaking Ray Allen in the playoffs. And tonight, they did not look like those things. And I think some of that is because when you're on the floor with someone like Anthony Davis, who is, he's not better than Rudy Gobert defensively, but he's close, and he is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate every year, and he makes guys like Alex Caruso better, because when you have someone like Anthony Davis on the floor holding up the rim protection and all that stuff, it makes other guys like Alex Caruso a little better, who I do think is a nice defender. Now, offensively, there were some moments where the Lakers had Alex Caruso having the offense run through him, and it was bad. It was not good. It was really not good. And if you're the Jazz, you're just happy about that. DW199, thank you, my sir. Jazz going all the way. I hope so. I really do. Tonight was a good step in that direction, I have to say. Another step towards 60 wins is what I would like to say. And our friend Key having a good off season. If you remember the channel, you know what I'm talking about. It's the defense, James. Yes, the defense for the Jazz or for the Lakers. Speaking of the Lakers, that's one thing that, Anthony Davis does for them. It ratchets up that defense for the Lakers big time when he's on the floor. When he's not, it's not the same. And that's the thing about this Lakers team I think people need to realize is that their defense was so incredibly good during the playoffs, and that's a major reason why they won. They could just lock up people and, lock up in terms of just like get stops when they needed it, and then have LeBron and AD get buckets on the other end. That's why they're a tough playoff team. And that's why tonight is like, it's nice if you're a Jazz fan, but I don't know if you can take a lot from this game other than the Jazz, are an incredible shooting team and can put up incredible amount of points in a short amount of time if you don't guard them well. And tonight the Lakers did not guard them well. Let's see. This was the game we circled in on our calendar, and that's what was frustrating, Shantheric, because we didn't get to see full strength Lakers. Furby Jr., who do you think the Lakers will pick up to strengthen the team? I don't know if there's a lot they can do. They can only do trades. If someone gets bought out, then maybe they can pick them up. It sounds like they're interested in what's his face, DeMarcus Cousins. But DeMarcus Cousins' percentages haven't been incredible this year. They might go up when you play with LeBron, because that's what happens when you play with LeBron. So maybe he can play for them. But what they need is AD, and it doesn't look great for AD to come back anytime soon. You want him to be healthy, and that's scary stuff, what his injury is for AD. Achilles tendonitis, Achilles strain, whatever it is, that's scary stuff. The last thing you want if you're the Lakers is to tear that Achilles. But at the same time, you're in this LeBron James window where you want to win the title within that, LeBron James prime. LeBron James is an alien. It doesn't look like he's ever slowing down, but, you never know. You never know when that slowdown happens with LeBron. I actually think that the Lakers need to get some sort of playmaker for him, because I think LeBron James is going to slowly tail off, but that just means he's going to turn into Karl Malone and just be, honestly, LeBron's going to play for another 4 or 5 years easily. I don't see him slowing down. He just seems to get better. Nobody on our team had over 20 points, and we still won by 114. Robert Hall. I love the emoji, by the way. Yeah, that's how incredible this Jazz team is. Tanner Hayden joined the channel. Welcome to the channel, Tanner. Welcome to Rookie, baby. Welcome, welcome. Scott Batson, no players on either team with 20-plus points. Pretty weird game. It was really weird, although Donovan Mitchell didn't have a very good shooting night, but had an incredible overall impact in terms of passing the ball, rebounding. I mean, his passing was incredible, and it's a disappoint. It's just it makes me sad he didn't get the triple-double because he wants it and he was hunting it out. And if only like Bojan could make the three and if Derek Favors could go up strong and dunk the ball, Donovan would get his triple-double. But who's counting? Who's counting? And by the way, Mike Conley as well, who got snubbed. I probably should have done a video about that, but Mike Conley got snubbed. Devin Booker making the team over Mike Conley is silliness because Devin Booker is playing on a team with Chris Paul. The Suns have been begging for Chris Paul to join or some other high-level point guard to join that team so that Devin Booker could like go off like they said, and he's gotten worse. So spare me the Devin Booker deserves a playoff spot, all right? Spare me. If he was everything that Suns fans said he was, he wouldn't need an injury to get in, and he wouldn't get worse when you're playing with a Hall of Fame point guard. That's all I got to say about that. All right, for the Jazz tonight, they blew them out. The points were plentiful. The points were flowing. The Jazz shoot the ball at an incredible rate tonight. They shoot 45% from three. It looked very sustainable because the Lakers' defense was really bad. It just was. Bojan Bogdanovic has been hitting threes, and tonight I hope he carries on what he did tonight. 5 for 8 from three for Bojan, 2 for 4 from Royce O'Neal. I love the celebration, by the way. Mike Conley 4 for 6. Jordan Clarkson 4 for 10. The only one who wasn't really hitting his three tonight at a high rate was Donovan Mitchell, but he was still 2 for 7, so he's still knocking them down. So the Jazz just blew them out with three-point shooting, and then the defense was just solid, But it's nice to play, it's not too hard to play defense when you're playing against, Alex Caruso. I don't know. It's just not a very good Lakers team without AD, and these Lakers perimeter players did not look good. KCP is not impressing as much as he did last season, so it makes you wonder. And I will say this about the Lakers. It took Rajon Rondo having some big games for them to get through the playoffs and get to those finals. I mean, Rajon Rondo was an important part of that Lakers run, and he's gone. And he was hitting big shots for them. You've replaced him with Dennis Schroeder, and so maybe he is the one that can do that for you. And their Lakers were really good before those AD and Schroeder went down, but without those two guys, they are not even close. So they rely very much on LeBron James and Anthony Davis. That's the team. And if Anthony Davis isn't 100%, scary stuff if you're a Lakers fan. Jorge Arizaga, 50 Mexican pesos. Gracias por los pesos. Son tan grande en mi mente. I'm sorry. But thank you, Jorge. Total destruction, man. Loved it. Yes, incredible. And way to use that Spida logo. I love it. Suns fans are toxic. Yes, they are. They're just annoying. Would AD really have changed the game enough to win this game? Donovan didn't even shoot well. Matt Christensen, I don't know. That's what I would have liked to see. I think their defense would have been better, but the Jazz rely so heavily on the three-point shot, and if the Lakers aren't able to disrupt that three-point shot, I don't know. That's what's so frustrating, Matt, because I would have liked to see that. Furby Jr., Rajon is really remarkable. I loved him on the pre-Haywood Celtics. Yeah. Rajon's one of those guys that he's kind of a gamer at times. He can really just show up and do really well, and he did not. He's not doing it this year for the Hawks, at least, and there's been times in his career where he's been just, a dead end, and then on the Lakers, he really just, took it up a notch. And then when he played with AD with the Pelicans, he actually had some nice moments in the playoffs, but when he's not with AD, I guess it's not showing up, or when he's not playing with Kevin Garnett, I don't know, not the same player. I don't know. He's one of those interesting guys. Not a lot else to say tonight, guys. Jordan Clarkson is such a nice luxury for Utah to have off the bench. For him to come in and just score at such an efficient level is great. Donovan Mitchell's playmaking was apparent tonight, and that is really nice to see. This Jazz team is just rolling. And when Mike Conley's on the floor playing like he did tonight, where he's hitting threes at a high clip, this Jazz team can just flat out score. It's really, really impressive what the Jazz can do. And it's nice to see this on ESPN tonight. Everyone could see, all those Lakers fans who are, usually very loud, probably not going to be very loud tonight. I'll just say that. Not going to be very loud because the Jazz blew them out. It was not very competitive tonight. LeBron looked nice, but Utah looked nicer. And they just hit their threes. Honestly, guys, there's not a lot to say. Rudy Gobert is just a dominant force inside. and even LeBron at times, who got a dunk, and for some reason Rudy kind of slipped on that one play with LeBron. But otherwise, LeBron was like had his head on a swivel looking for Rudy inside. He did not want to get blocked by Rudy tonight. And so the Rudy Gobert effect even hits LeBron James at times. And so it's nice to see that just, this Jazz formula is really good. I don't know. I mean, this is what we can talk about for now. And not a lot to say tonight, guys. It's a blowout win. The Jazz just are a better team than the Lakers if they don't have AD. They just are. It's not even close. But there's a trade trade deadline coming up. Sorry, Kenny says the chat is devolving. My brain is devolving. It's late. I actually kind of hate these late games because it's late. It's 11 o'clock Mountain Time right now. I don't know if the Jazz are going to do anything with the trade market. I think the Jazz could stand to upgrade their defense. I think Favors has been a little like here or there. He's looked solid enough to me the last few games. But man, I don't know. I would love to see. It's going to be a nice All-Star break to give Favors some rest. And this second half of the season, I'm going to talk about the Jazz second half. It's looking very easy for the Jazz. Hey, smart move for this ain't no Yankees hat. This is Jazz hat. This is my old one back from the Facebook days, guys. If any of you were here, if you were here watching the Facebook halftime show for SLC Dunk, that's how this channel started. You are the OG of OGs. Maybe there's some here. I don't know. But anyways, what I was saying is I don't know if the Jazz are going to make a trade. If there's a player that's like available that you could upgrade that defense with one really good wing defender, someone that's like, and they're going to have to be an elite level to actually crack this Jazz rotation. The Jazz might do it. We'll see. Maybe I love Otto Porter. I would love to see the Jazz get Otto Porter somehow. If you could get Otto Porter on this team, that would be exciting. I don't know if the Jazz can get him, though. They might just have to get him in free agency, honestly. But the Jazz sounds like from that Tony Jones article today that they might just be able to sign Mike Conley and run it back next year. And if they can just continue to improve along the edges, this team's going to be good for years. And, there's a window there. The window is right now for Utah to win a title. They got to go for it. So if there's a thing there that the Jazz can do, if there's a guy that they think fits with what they do, they should go for it. Otherwise, I don't know. This is it, guys. I hope you guys are appreciating what the Jazz are doing right now. I hope everyone is soaking this in because this is not normal stuff. Not normal. Like, how many of you guys were here watching the Ty Corbin years, which were just drudgery? It was just terrible. Like, literally the stat we got excited about and David Locke used to talk about, if you still listen to David Locke, is like his turnover rate was really good. Like, that's what we got excited about back in the day, guys. We got excited about Al Jefferson's turnover rate. That was what we got excited about. Now we get to watch the Jazz break three-point records game after game after game. And it's great. Furby Jr., Azubuike for Otto Porter, straight up. Who says no? Who says no? This roster is going to run it back again. I agree. They will. I just think maybe if there's a way to improve the defense a little bit more on the wing to stand up against like the Kawhi Leonards and the Kevin Durant's of the world. Hopefully Royce is enough, but we're a little small in the point guard and guard spot with Donovan and Mike Conley. So you kind of hope that you can upgrade. Let's see. Oh yeah, that for some reason that didn't show. Now it showed. Fidel. The brotherly love between Big Al and Millsap. Yes, those were things that we enjoyed, but we definitely didn't win a lot of games. There were other ways we felt good about the team back then. I'm losing track because I'm tired, guys. It's a late night. It's a nice win for the Jazz. But the Jazz do got to find a way to get some size and defense, and they might have to just go with what they're doing. Right now, it's really, really good, and it might just be enough. Sometimes you just got to go with your crew, And this crew for the Jazz is winning a lot of games. And if all of the players on this Jazz team, like they've been doing, are hitting their shots at a high rate like they are, why can't they beat the Nets? Why can't they beat the Lakers? Why? Why not? They're hitting shots at an incredible rate. To me, the big thing that you would worry about is defense. Can the defense hold up? And I think it can I think it can somewhat. it's going to be tough in the playoffs, and maybe the defense just gets even better in the playoffs because we're going to be in more half-court situations. We shall see. But, guys, that's all I got to say tonight. You guys are amazing in the chat. Let's make sure we give a shout-out to our All-Stars tonight. Let us see. I should have pulled this up, but I didn't. I didn't because I forgot again. All right, let's see. Let's see. All-Stars. All right, tonight, let's give a shout out to our All-Stars. Shan Therick, Ryan Perry, Justin Ty H, Patrick Akubo, Robert Hall, Kyle Christensen, DW, David Lee, and Jorge Arizaga. You guys are what makes this channel possible. You guys are what make this fun. Thank you for joining this live stream tonight, guys. It's a lot of fun. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Join the channel by hitting that button right there if you would like. Lots of perks, lots of fun. Guys, I will talk to you later.